Hello, students. I'm Pooja Chatwani. I take BCR at CA Foundation level. So, students, I'm associated with Yashas Academy along with an academy. So, Yashas Academy has come out with a new program of Step Up with Yashas, which is for May 22nd attempt. The batches have already been started from 10th of November 2021. It is a 100% English comprehensive batch, and you can use the code Yashas for the same. India's top educator would help you crack these exams. It is not just classes subscription that you get interactive classes, recorded classes, access to educator's note, all at one place. Every fourth session is doubt solving session. CA material is synced with the study material. You have mock test papers. What are you waiting for? Get your CA Foundation subscription today. You can even get your notes on the go. How to get this Unacademy CA Foundation subscription? All you have to do is download the Unacademy learning app, select your goal, and get your subscription. You can get it for as low as 917 rupees per month. Your iconic program, you can get it for as low as 2417 per month. And for iconic subscription, you can even take foundation and intermediate as a combo batch. You can have a live mentoring platform, which would include your personal coaching, doubt solving, evaluated test series, printed books, industry experts, and Discord. One-to-one live mentoring in Iconic is going to give you an extra edge for the same. You can have the most wonderful part, which has been launched, called as evaluated test series, in which your test will be taken into 3 parts, which will be 40% of your syllabus, 80% of your syllabus, and 100% of your syllabus. So quickly go and get your subscription today. Okay, so students, what have I planned for you today? I have planned to cover all your formats of BCR, as many as we can cover in this session. So I'm starting with the format of an article. I hope you remember what an article is. An article is usually considered as a part of informal writing. There are no rules or techniques for the same. However, it has an organized structure, which is very important for you. Hence, a basic outline of the format needs to be studied. So what is the format? First and foremost, you need to make sure that you have a heading, title, you have a byline, then you have introduction, body, and conclusion. So if I had to put it down for you, how do you jot it? It looks something like this. You will have your heading over here. You will have your byline, that is by Pooja Chatwani. And then your introduction, body, conclusion. So students, whenever you're writing an article, try and follow this format. It will always be very helpful. This is for your article. Now, what are certain points that you should remember? Whenever you're writing an article, you should remember that the aim of the article is to either advise, inform, entertain, compare, or describe. So your body should have either of these. Only then it is going to help you. The title should be short and eye-catching, very important. Begin with a striking opening sentence. So when I speak of opening sentence, what exactly am I speaking of? You can have a proverb, an idiom, or anything that you can think of which is going to strike attention of the audience. The writer must have enough to say. Choose your ideas beforehand. That is, organize your content, very important. Organize the content. This is the most important step of the lot. One more thing that you should be knowing is stop making unnecessary repetitions. The article should be brief. The article should be broken into paragraphs, like I told you, intro, body, conclusion. Your body can also be of 2-3 paras. There is no harm to divide your body further. And then the conclusion. Pay attention to the choice of voice and tense. If you start with past tense, maintain to keep the same tense and same voice for the same. You cannot change it. You cannot change your past to present or your present to future. So stick to your tenses, stick to your voices correctly. Voices is what means by active and passive. Usually try and keep your article writing and report writing in passive voices, and conclude logically. 2 or 3 sentences are more than enough for the conclusion. That's it for your article. Let's go to report writing. So students, report writing is pretty much different from article because this is a formal one. For article writing, you need an organized structure, but for report writing, it needs to be formally written. So when I speak of formally, you should understand that this is usually an official document for which a person has been appointed. So if a person has not been appointed and you write the paraphrase on your own or the essay on your own, it would be called as article and not report. I hope that's pretty much clear. Now, what kind of types of report do we have? The first one is the newspaper report. Magazine report is very similar to your article report. There is not much things that change here. And the third one is your official report for official organization. So students, this one stands very important for your exam perspective, newspaper report. It is one of the important ones. So why do I say this one is one of the important ones? Because if they had to ask you magazine report, they could have easily asked you article. Your magazine reports are usually returned from schools. So there was an annual function in your school or your college or your institute. For that, there are magazine reports. Newspaper reports are usually for events that needs to be recorded, and official reports can vary from financial report or a discovery report. If you want to look through the examples, your ICAI material has 2 examples of these. Financial has one and discovery report also has one, which is of the river, Ganga River, if I'm not wrong. And there is a financial report which you can go through. So these are the 3 major reports that are there, which can be asked to you in the exam. You can look forward to this and this. This is more like an article writing, so nothing major. However, let's go through the formats. For the newspaper report, you will have the title line as similar to article, byline as similar to article. Place and date is something which is not covered in article, which is additional. However, your title and heading is there for magazine, byline, and body of the report. So if you have to understand, magazine report has a similar format to article writing. It does not differ a lot. Coming back, how do we write down your report writing? So after writing heading and by, you need to include over here before the intro. Okay, before the intro, you will be adding in. It is 25th November. (2021) Mumbai. And then you will start with your introduction. You do not need to write the words introduction, body, and conclusion. You can just start with the paragraphs as it is. I hope this is pretty much clear. So I have taught you 3 formats till now. One is the newspaper report format. The second one is your article writing format. Or you can even call it as magazine report format. They are the 2 major kinds. I considered them 2 different ones. They are the same. Okay, now let's go back. Let's understand official reports for various organizations. It will also have a format. What will be the format for same? So there are two formats for it. This is format 1, this is format 2. So the format 1 is the financial one, which is probably given to you. So let's have a look. Heading: to, from, date, subject. After reading to, from, date, subject, the first thing that should hit your mind is that it is very similar to letter writing. So it's a very similar format of letter writing. So do not get tensed over it. It is very easy. If you know the letter writing format, this is going to be a piece of cake for you. And then you have introduction, main body, conclusion. For introduction, you give the details of the task and reason in the first line itself. That is in the first paragraph itself, not ranging more than 2 to 3 sentences. That's it. And then comes your body. For body, you can have the information, resources, material, description of task, and the results. For conclusion, you can give out your evaluations and suggestions. Oh, students, one more important thing. For newspaper report, you cannot give your suggestions. Not give suggestions. But for magazine report, you can give suggestions. So if you understand, this is just reporting something. Okay, coming back. Now, when I come to format 2, this is your format 1, which has your heading, to, from, date, subject, and intro, body, conclusion. Again, you do not need to write the words intro, body, conclusion. You can directly start with the paragraphs. However, you will have to write the word subject. Okay, now coming to format 2. Format 2 will have your title page, which will include to, from, date, and acknowledgement. So instead of subject, you are adding acknowledgement here. Otherwise, everything else remains same from format 1. Your table of content will be there. Your table of content will include what are the subsections of the report. Then comes the summary. Your summary should not range more than 2 to 3 sentences. Okay, so students, there is this Yamuna or Ganga River report, which is there in your ICAI material. I want all of you all to go through it. And there is a sentence which is written there for acknowledgement. You can use the same sentence for any kind of report from format 2 which has been asked. Okay, coming back, introduction. Your introduction will include what? Your introduction will include 3 to 5 sentences about what exactly is the passage about. Then your findings, conclusion, recommendation, bibliography, or reference. So these needs to be name of websites. Please make sure that you do not give generalized website like google.com or wikipedia.com. You need to give down more specific websites like if it's for river, again, you can put down something like save river, saveriver.net.in. You can make your own websites. There is no harm to it, but make sure that it is more specific. You can you not only website link, you can even give certain books or certain reports or certain magazine links also. That is your discretion to be used. Okay, one more thing, students, your findings will take around 5 to 7 lines. Students, do not put in too much of time. Report or article is asked for 5 marks. So I think for 5 marks, you put in something around 10 minutes is more than enough. So try and again, my suggestion, always attempt report, because the formatting only will take up good enough marks for you. So it's an easy way of earning that marks. So my suggestion, always pick up report. Okay. Now, certain things that you should be knowing. No personal opinions in report. That's what I discussed with you. You should make sure that you know who is your target audience. First person, second person should not be used. You cannot say in accordance to what I feel. I think this should have been done in a better way. You should take into consideration the following suggestions. Okay, this is what I meant by first person and second person should not be used. It should be used in third person. Report and article should preferably be in passive voice. Passive voice is the most formal language that can be used, because here the concentration is on the object and not the subject. So people who have learned grammar with me will understand what do I mean by passive voice. Again, the tense should be in past tense, because report writing is generally for the things that have already happened. Language should be clear, concise, and to the point. So brevity is the key of writing your report. Again, I told you it's for 5 marks. Do not spend more than 10 minutes. So keep it as concise as possible. Next, technical jargon and subject specific terminology should be avoided, because not everyone is going to know what kind of technical jargon you are using. Organized logically and coherently. This stays in as a point for any kind of format that you're making. Okay, let's come to the next one. Format of a formal letter. Your formal letter will include sender's address, date, salutation, subject, content. Content will include intro, body, conclusion, and complimentary close. So if I had to put it down in a method of showing you, I would tell you that this is going to be your letter writing should be in the block format. So when I speak of block format, students, what I really mean is everything should be on your extreme left. There is something called a semi-block format also, but your ICAI does not expect you to write in semi-block format. They expect you to write it in the block format. So how do I put it in the block format? You are going to put down sender's address over here. Try and maintain not more than 4 lines. So that is, whom are you sending this? Students, just hold on. Okay, so whom are you sending this is very important. After that, your date is important. You do not have to write the words date. You can directly use date. So how do I put it? 25th November. (2021). Okay, after this, you would go for salutation. So when I speak of salutation, students, remember that you can use dear. Now dear has been formally accepted, but you can use dear only when you know the person, know the receiver. Very important. If you do not know the receiver, you need to write down sir, madam, or if you know the name of the person, which does not give a clarity, you can write down Mr. Ramesh. Common. I hope that's pretty much clear. Post that, I want to make sure that you understand that there is something called a subject. Again, something that you're going to stick to the left-hand side. Application for something. Okay, after that starts your intro. Again, it sticks to the left line, no 2-finger space that you should be leaving. That's your intro, body, conclusion. And then there is a complimentary close, which will end with something like yours sincerely, yours faithfully, yours loyally. Again, if you do not know the spelling of sincerely, please stick to the word faithfully. It is very easy. You write your name, your position, and your contact number. That's it. Your complimentary close is done. So that is what I would say by block format, where everything is on the extreme left. Coming back, so I have covered everything which is there for your letter format. What are the types of business or official letters that you should be knowing? There is something called as letter of inquiry. So let's just assume there is your seller and this is your buyer. Before they became seller and the buyer, buyer probably has some kind of inquiry that it needs to make. So it kind of messages or emails or calls the seller. That is called as inquiry. That is called as letter of inquiry. Seller gives back an answer. It is called as reply to inquiry, which is not really a part of your format that you should have. You should have, but they have not given it to you. So it's okay. Now, whenever there is an inquiry letter, it is from the buyer. Whenever there is a reply to inquiry, it is from the seller. The reason for making this diagram is to make sure that you understand that. Then there is something called as order letter. You should understand the order cannot be placed by seller. The order letter also goes from the buyer's end. After the order has been given, there is a reply from the seller acknowledging the order that yes, we will be able to supply you. And that is called as a sales letter, where you thank them. So it is very important to know that you would be thanking them in the sales letter. And then we have recovery letters, letter of complaint, reply to letter of complaint, promotional letters. That's it. So these are the types of official letters that you should be knowing. The format remains same. All you need to go through is certain examples of all of them so that you become more clear with it. So that's it, students. I'm ending the session today here. I hope my session was pretty much fruitful. I'll come back with new formats which you need to know for your exams. All the best. Do well, work hard, put in everything that you have. Make sure you come out with flying colors. Bye-bye.